Hello, everybody. This is Jonathan Mochtig with 1000 GM. I'm here with Grandmaster VAR AKOBIAN. We're looking at round 4 of the St. Louis GM Norm event for 1000 GM.
Hello everyone, let's take a look at this game. This is played in round number 4 between Ashrita ESWARAN, FIDE Master, and against second seed of the tournament, Vladimir Belous. So let's take a look here. E4, C5. Knight F3, Knight C6, so we have a Sicilian defense. And now D4 played. Another option in this position, White can play with the move Bishop B5, which is going to transpose into the Rosolimo variation, okay? But he played D4, takes Knight D4, G6. So this is called accelerated dragon. But it's going to transpose to the more of a hedgehog system now. When you get this position with the pawns on C4 and E4, this is the hedgehog system, okay? When you have this E4, C4, and the pawn on D6. So takes, bishop goes on E3, and you actually want to put a queen on D2 in this position, because in this position, as soon as black castles, the threat here is just to play knight G4. Knight goes on G4, hitting the queen and putting pressure on E3. So that's why you play queen D2 here, to move that queen away from that potential discovery attack. Now ace A5 is played. This is still theory. King F2. Interesting setup, yeah? You wouldn't think about putting the king on it, but the king is actually quite well placed here. And what the reason is to do this, it's a little bit closer to the center. Is if there are endgames occur, king is going to be closer. And if for example, you decide to go for H4, H5, that way his king is going to be here and the rook is on H file. So normally people would just castle here, but this king F2 is a very interesting approach by ESWARAN. So queen A5, rook AC1, now bishop D7 played. Bishop D7 played, and here White decides to go for the endgame, where she's thinking that she will have some advantage here, and the move is knight D5. Another option in this position is, for example, to play the move rook E8 in anticipation of the move knight D5, because if now knight D5, you can take, and you don't have to worry about the E7 pawn hanging with the check. Okay, so that's why he played bishop D7. Now this is take and take. And the problem now for black is, the big problem is this rook is getting ready to enter on a 7th rank, okay? So this rook is just getting ready now to just come in on the C7. So it plays rook C8, and now takes, rook C1, logical move. Lots of pressure here for ESWARAN. And now, Jonathan, in this position, in general, in the end games, where does your rooks belong? That's a question for everybody.
You
Where
just got to
does
get
your
your
rook
rooks to the
belong,
7th rank for white and the 2nd rank for black.
Absolutely. Rooks belong on a 7th rank when you're white, or on a 2nd rank if you're black. And here you have an opportunity. When you have a move like this, you're going to go in there and attack something with the tempo. You almost always you do it, okay?
Yeah.
Now, big problems here for Grandmaster Belous. Maybe he could have played King F8 to try to stay put, but he didn't. He played E6, and now another strong move here is Bishop B5 by ESWARAN, controlling this diagonal to make sure the bishop cannot come out. Now takes, bishop B2. Now taking the pawn on B2, and now we need to activate our bishop. Bishop E8, threatening to check on F7. F5, bishop check, but now this is really, really bad now. You can't go here because of discovery check, picking up your bishop. You can't go here either because now check, bishop E6 check, picking up your bishop again. So that doesn't work either. So that's why he plays here, King H8, and now bishop F4. We're getting ready to take this pawn on D6. Bishop D4 check, King E1, G5. It's much more important to take the pawn on D6 because then you're going to have a strong pass pawn that is going to go through. So now there's F4. Black is desperate to develop the bishop to try to get the rook into the game, but it's very tough. So bishop E7. This is perhaps not the best move. Bishop B4 was a little bit stronger here, and then just simply push the pawns, D6, D7. But bishop E7 is fine. Bishop F5. King G7 here was the only chance to try to get some counterplay, but bishop F5, and now D pawn is just going in. Bishop D5, centralizing. And now ready to play discovery checks as well. King g6, d7. Now the threat is simply to play d8, bishop f6, queen, picking up the pawn. If there wasn't an a pawn here, then maybe black would have some chances, but equal amount of pawns. And now with the equal amount of pawns and the bishop's going to come off the board, it's just going to be a hopeless position. So really strong play in the opening and early stages of the middle game by ESWARAN, and perhaps opening up the c file was a dubious decision by Bellows. So bishop check, king up. Now, when opponent has two bishops in this kind of endgames, Jonathan, a very important thing for the winning side is to try to trade one of the bishops, because once you separate them, then it's going to be much easier to operate. But when the two bishops are working together, they're too strong because they're controlling too many important squares. So king e2, bishop c2, getting a little tempy, and now time to
trade him off.
Trade him off. Check up. And now it goes here. And here actually king f3, which was the last move of the game, because now rook a6 check is coming up, and the king is going to come to g4, and it's just completely hopeless. If you try to prevent this, then actually white will play a6 check, king g7, and then I really like this move h4, trying to break the structure. If takes,
cohesion's
king
gone.
takes f4,
Yeah.
and if you here, simply take, and thank you very much.
Yeah.
So this was a very strong play, very, very impressive win here by ESWARAN, okay? So just a strong opening play, and it's very hard to pinpoint where did exactly white go wrong, but I think opening up this c file was not the best, because after that, just rook c7 is just constantly going to be on top, you know, and you're going to be worried about to do things, how to prevent. So I would have played this a little bit different. I don't play these positions for black, but I would have tried to somehow keep the c file closed. That's why I like this maybe.
What's your opinion on the accelerated dragons? Are they a little bit too ambitious because they open up these files too quickly, or?
Well, this was actually it didn't go as accelerated. It went to a hedgehog system.
Oh yeah, that's right. He transitioned
so
over.
Because c4 was played. If c4 wasn't played, so I think white had a clear plan what she wanted to do in this game, and she managed to execute it. But overall, yeah, accelerated dragon is considered one of the sharper and dynamic openings out there.
Awesome.
So again, keep the c file closed in these positions, guys. This is very important detail, okay? So perhaps maybe even keep the queen on d8 for a while, you know, and just get the pieces developed. So I think you can just play like this, bishop here, and then knight d7, knight c5, okay? All right, very good. Hope you guys enjoyed this game, and we'll have more coverage for you coming up shortly.